Well, welcome to the first video of Walking and Talking. As I said in the introductory video, in early June of 2023, late June of 2023, I was diagnosed with lymphedema in both legs. So how was I diagnosed? Well, believe it or not, my dermatologist is the one who recognized it and knew immediately what I had. I was seeing her, I go once a year, and I was seeing her because I actually had a mole that came up on the side of my chin that I wanted to get removed. It normally stayed flat, but it popped up, so I wanted to get it looked at and get it removed. And I had an annual appointment coming up with her, so I just had her take care of it at that time. So every other trip that I go to her, she does a head-to-toe examination of my skin. And so she wanted to do one at that treatment. So I said, go ahead. So I got in the gown and I'm sitting on the table and she does her exam. And then she comes around from the back side of my back and goes to the front and she flips the gown up over my knees, takes one step back and says, "You have lymphedema." And I said, "Well, what is that?" So she told me I had a defective lymphatic system in about the middle section of my legs down. My thighs were large. My calves from about mid-shin up were large, but I was basically skin and bone from about mid-shin down. And what was happening was my lymphatic system was blocked and the fluids were not getting transferred and brought back up and discharged through normal channels. So she recognized it right off the bat, and I really can't thank her enough. And her name was Dr. Duncan at Advanced Dermatology in Houston. Actually, I was in her Pearland office. But she said, "I'm going to get you to a lymphedema clinic and they're going to take care of you." And when she described everything that it was, I told her, I said, "Well, I didn't come in here. I didn't bargain for that. You can take it back. I don't want to pay for that." We both laughed, but I'm very thankful that Dr. Duncan was sharp enough and understood what I had and was able to get me into the lymphedema clinic. So, hi. That was on June 20th when she diagnosed me with it. And that was on a Tuesday. And the following Friday, I received a phone call from Lymphedema Therapy Specialists in Houston. And they scheduled my first appointment, which was the following Tuesday. So I got to see them, and the procedure that they went through to check you out and determine whether or not you have it was pretty simple. They take pictures of your legs before, and then what they do, I think it was every 4 centimeters or so, they put a mark on your leg from your toes to the mid of your thigh, or at least that's what they did on mine, and they took measurements. And then they took me to a bagging room, and I'll post pictures of the equipment that I used while I was there for my treatment, but I'll post pictures of that up there somewhere. Anyway, took me to the bagging room, and it's like 2 big giant puff pants, one on each leg from my toes. Actually, my feet were totally encased in the bag all the way up to my hip. And then they inflate the bags, and the eggs are equal pressure all the way around, and it's to a specified pressure rating. And again, I don't know the exact terminologies of what there were, but it was a preset setting that they wanted to work with. So I stayed in those bags for 30 minutes, which, by the way, felt really, really good. And then when I was through, they took me out, took me back to the exam room, and they took the exact same measurements again And Dr. John Scher was my doctor, and he said if there is significant difference between before and after measurements, you've got lymphedema. Said if it's not, you probably don't have it. Well, I had almost 3.5 to 4 inches in some places difference. He came in and he goes, "You got it." So he formulated a plan, and that entailed a lot of physical therapy, which was actually 3 times a week, and he estimated it was going to be 6 to 8 weeks of therapy. And so I chose early morning hours. That was my choice, and so my appointments were at 9:15, and all told, each day, counting the drive time, because I live about 45 miles south of Houston, and counting drive time, construction time, and physical therapy time and all, it made for about a 6 to 6.5 hour day. So I was pretty tired when I got home each day. So what I did is I decided that I would put my business on different hour schedules. I was going to be closed Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'd work Tuesdays and Thursdays and on the weekends to make up for the lost time I had during the week. And thank goodness my customers were patient with me, and I didn't have a big glitch in that. So anyway, so I kept that up, and like I said, I'll post some pictures throughout, but they also, at the end of the day, at the end of my sessions, after wrapping and everything, or after all the compressions and everything, then I would do a lymphatic massage, which was really, really nice. And they would start up here at the collarbone area and do massages specifically on the lymph glands. And the massage was done in such a manner to push the lymphatic fluids up to the abdomen area, to where they're disposed of through the urine, basically. And after that, then I'd go for the bagging, and I would come back after the bagging, and they would wrap my legs in compression sleeves and wraps, special wraps, not your standard ACE bandage. They look like an ACE bandage, but they're not the normal ACE bandages. But they'd wrap me from basically just below my knees to my toes. And I stayed in those 24/7, 365, well, not 365, but 24/7 until my next session. So that meant I had to go buy the plastic bags, like when you break an arm and you gotta put it over the cast so you can take a shower. So that's what I had to do, was go buy bags and slip those over so that I could go ahead and get my showers in. So it's a different lifestyle. It just means that I've got a different routine every day. So that's the basic of how it started with me. And I want to get into some more details about things. So I'm going to sit down here and take a break just a second. Let me reposition everything. Okay, because I'm nearly 70 and I'm extremely out of shape, I had to take a break in the shade and cool off, because we are in South Texas experiencing extreme heat. So I got to be careful. So I'm under the shades cooling off right now. But again, I want to add in here, as I did in the introductory video, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor. I didn't sleep at a hotel that's going to make you think I'm a doctor. This is what worked for me. It may or may not work for you, but the point I want to get across to you is to seek the medical help that you need. Find you a good lymphatic doctor. Find you a good lymphatic clinic if you think you've got it, and get the help that you need to get it turned around. So I just really want to bring awareness of lymphedema out here, and just if one person picks up on this and it gets them motivated to get treatment, then this is all worth it. So I'm going to continue in my next segment, and I will be posting, like I said, some pictures of the equipment that I've had. And when I go into my next segment on the next walk, we'll actually talk about how I've been progressing. And then you'll see with some photos that I have of my legs when I started versus where I'm at, you know, how much progress I've made. And again, lymphedema is not curable. It is controllable. And the earlier that you get it under control, the better chance you have of keeping it under control. So until my next video comes out, if y'all would, hug all your family and friends, let them know you love them, and God bless.